Proposition B would be an investment in our facilities and public safety. It includes a new police headquarters, fire station, animal care facility, and 2 multi-purpose community facilities. Beaumont Animal Care was built more than 40 years ago as a 3-day temporary holding facility, long before recent efforts to place every animal with a loving home. Today, it's well over capacity with more than 100 animals, forcing multiple dogs and cats to share kennels.
And that's not very good for the animals because they're too crowded and it can cause fighting and different things like that.
Between 5 and 25 new animals arrive daily. Without adequate space, the risk of injury and disease increases, while the chance of saving the animals' lives decreases.
The public is familiar with the term low kill or no kill. And what that means is we try to save at least 90% of the animals that come through the doors. And to do that, you also have to be able to hold them for longer amounts of time.
Many kennels are outdoors, covered only by tarps. Animals are exposed to heat, cold, and rain, and there are no dedicated quarantine areas for sick animals. Visitors also face barriers. Kennels are not handicap accessible and parking is limited. Staff is forced to share computers and crowd into a small break room to work. The shelter also has constant maintenance needs and an outdated air system that can't properly filter disease. Fortenberry says a modern shelter with places for animals to run and play would greatly improve their health and up their chances of getting adopted.
Because if someone comes in and sees a stressed animal hiding in the back of a cage, they may be not as likely to adopt that one or look over that one.
Beaumont's Fire Station number 4 has been in service since 1954. Now more than 70 years old, it's outdated, costly to maintain, and no longer meets modern safety standards. Proposition B sets aside more than $6.5 million for a replacement. The station's age shows in its leaking flat roof, failing plumbing, and outdated electrical. Its HVAC system is costly and inefficient.
The cost to heat and cool this station is astronomical.
The 1950s era design also creates serious health hazards. Firefighters have no exhaust removal system, meaning every truck start fills the bays and living quarters with carcinogens.
Exhaust system to get the carcinogens out of the station. That's really, really important. A healthy environment for firefighters, EMTs, paramedics.
The building lacks sprinklers, modern decontamination areas, and gender-inclusive facilities. Narrow bays don't fit today's larger fire trucks, slowing response times and risking equipment damage. City leaders identified Fire Station number 4 as a top priority in the community investment plan. A new facility would be built in the same service district, but to modern standards, which would mean healthier firefighters, a station that can house all of their gear and larger engines, and an overall better use of tax dollars by reducing maintenance costs. This 51-year-old building that was originally built as a jail houses our Beaumont Police Headquarters. It has no windows and was designed for half the staff that currently works here, forcing them to spread out across 7 different buildings.
It was built for 160 and we have 341 right now.
Beyond the overcrowding issues, the building contains asbestos under flooring and walls, making renovations expensive and raising health risks. And then there are the mold and flooding issues.
I had to take my shoes off to get to my truck in the Sally Port because it was raining. This wasn't a hurricane, this was like a couple weeks ago when it was raining.
All that rain also creates operational concerns for the department.
We have our computers for the officers to work their reporting downstairs. We have property and evidence. It's very dangerous and could impact cases if we don't keep that stuff safe.
The building only has 1 elevator, which often doesn't work, creating issues with ADA accessibility. And the limited space means victims, witnesses, and even sex offenders are often forced to share the same waiting space.
Even for the citizens, when they come in here, and try to go upstairs to give a statement and the elevator doesn't work. It's an issue for people when they try to come in here and have to be around, a sex offender.
Proposition B also covers facilities improvements across the City of Beaumont. With more than 200 city buildings to maintain, this money would go toward critical repairs. City leaders say deferring maintenance only makes problems worse and more expensive over time.
I like to compare buildings to houses. If you have a home that has a roof leak and you don't take care of it immediately because an item may come up, you've got to replace your air conditioning, you have to replace a water heater, those items take precedence, and so as that roof leak continues to be an issue, it creates more issues.
Beyond repairs, there's also $1 million set aside for public safety and technology upgrades. The money would add more cameras to the city's real-time crime center to help police respond faster and share information more easily. It would also update software and evidence systems to make investigations more efficient. Two multi-purpose centers round out the facilities in Proposition B, the largest being a new multi-purpose sports complex. Officials say it would be similar in scope to Legends in Bryan College Station and is one of the few projects that could generate revenue for the city. City Council identified sports tourism as a key priority in its strategic plan. City data shows about 30 to 35% of Beaumont's visitor spending already comes from sports. Plans include 8 basketball courts that can convert into 16 volleyball courts or 27 pickleball courts. The building could also host tournaments for gymnastics, cheer, wrestling, esports, Special Olympics, and trade shows. A recent benchmarking study shows just how much this type of facility could generate for Beaumont.
Well, just one court can generate $500,000 to $1 million per year, and that's if it's low performing. It could perform as much as $2 million or more.
City leaders say Beaumont has an advantage as it provides easy access along the interstate, and there are no current facilities like it from Louisiana to Central Texas. In addition to tournaments, the facility would also include space for youth programming. And esports computers could double for local students who need access to Wi-Fi, computers, and multi-purpose rooms.
And we also have to remember there's a segment of population that doesn't have access to Wi-Fi and computers, so this would provide a much needed resource and a hand up.
It could potentially include a clinic to provide physicals for athletes and even a game room for siblings to keep them busy during those long tournament days.
Well, this would be not only for out-of-town guests traveling to our city, but for our local community and residents to be able to use.
The final addition to these 5 facilities in Prop B is a community multi-purpose center for Alice Keith Park. This proposed center would be modeled after the Sterling Pruitt Activity Center on Gulf Street, with a gym, weight room, classrooms for educational programs, and a variety of other opportunities.
The facility is open 6 days a week for all citizens of our great city of Beaumont, to participate in aerobics, dance, free weight training, basketball, pickleball, along with our summer programs that we do, track, aquatics. We actually got a new volleyball league going on.
Sterling Pruitt has been open for more than 30 years and remains heavily used. Officials say the Alice Keith Park facility would expand those opportunities into Ward 4. These types of programs ended in that part of the city when the L.L. Melton YMCA closed down several years ago. Lewis says these types of facilities also host community meetings, financial literacy workshops, job training, and youth programs in addition to sports. The goal? To keep our youth engaged, improve grades, and provide resources that some families may lack at home.
We have some after-school programs where we're doing tutorials, we're reading, we're trying to get ahead of the curve. We're partnering with our local school district to provide supplies and amenities that will make Jack and Jill well-rounded citizens.
And remember, you can find information on all 5 of the bond propositions on the ballot, as well as the venue tax, plus information on costs and tax rates, as well as voting information and locations by going to beaumonttexas.gov/bond or beaumontbonds.com.